We're going to stick with the NBA, but it's a little bit of a different controversy. It's a really nice story written today, Rob, on ESPN.com by Baxter Holmes it's titled "The Burnout of the Shooting Star Carmelo Anthony." And it really talks about why Carmelo Anthony is not in the NBA today. He wants to play. He went on ESPN all but begging to be on the team.
It was about as bad as it gets, Chris. And you're being nice because that's how – when he said, you mean to tell me I'm not better than some of these guys who are on the – I just thought to myself, wow, really?
It hurt me because I really like Carmelo as a player and a person.
And he's accomplished a lot.
He's going to be – to me, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer easy. Do you feel that way?
Well, because it's not. Yeah, it's a basketball Hall of Fame.
Right.
He won a national championship.
What he did with Syracuse was essentially unprecedented in modern basketball.
When you think about Jim Boeheim, been the coach for 90 years and only won one championship.
Right.
And Carmelo Anthony's the reason why.
Did it as a freshman. I mean, Durant didn't lead his team to a championship.
And remember,
as a
he was
freshman.
lights
Derrick
out.
Rose.
You want to talk about a performance? I was glued to Carmelo's performance.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And I don't want to belittle his NBA career.
No, I'm just saying.
Dude was legit. Now, he didn't win a championship. You know, he didn't even get to the finals. He got to the conference finals one time. But Carmelo Anthony was a top 10 player in this league for 10, 12 years. And so, to me, and then, the Olympics, I mean, granted, that's kind of simple,
right.
But still, he's got 3, 4 gold medals? I don't know what it is, but it's a lot. And I think he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. It hurt me to see him. He went on ESPN, interviewed by our good friend Stephen A. Smith. And to see somebody's humbled like that, that's what hurt. And obviously, humility is a great thing, but I'm just talking about in this sense, a guy that was prideful as a player in a good way.
And here's the other part, Chris, seriously, that has to hurt him. He has a ton of friends in the NBA and nobody can get him on a team. Like powerful friends, right? Other players that like Carmelo.
At this point, it's mainly LeBron left. I guess Chris Paul.
But he lives in LA. He could have, right? LeBron could have worked out something, especially last year when everything fell apart, right? To see.
But gosh, would you even want it that way?
Well, but I'm just.
You know what I mean? Like,
I'm just saying,
so.
like, when you
it's
have.
better than sitting out, I guess.
I
right?
just mean when you have.
Would you want to be a charity case?
Well, but you got people in play. It's not like you're on the outside and you don't know anybody, is what I'm saying.
You got people ready to give you the charity, right? Here's the deal, though, Rob. I'm going to say, I've said this before, and I stand by it. Carmelo Anthony is still better than 2/3 of the NBA. That's 66%. He's better than 60 to 70% of the players in the NBA. He looks at, and I love Jared Dudley. He's a great guy. He's better than Jared Dudley. He's better than Danny Green. He's better than a lot of these role players out there who are not only filling rosters, but actually in rotations. But here's the thing. Carmelo wants to still be the star. And I know he's talked about, I'll be a role player. I'll come off the bench. But the last vision of him in the NBA, even though he was coming off the bench in Houston, was him being a volume shooter. And I call it the Allen Iverson syndrome. You saw AI in Detroit.
I saw it, Chris. I saw it. He could have played 5 more years.
No doubt. He could have been a Jamal Crawford or Lou Williams type.
And everybody was like, all you got to do is you'll lead the second unit. You have the green light to shoot. Play about 15, 17 minutes, Chris, and it's a night. And he could have done that for years.
Yep. And Melo could too. And I don't fault Melo and AI. And I would throw Kobe in there. We didn't see Kobe really fall like they did. But he was another guy who even said, I'm not being no role player. You think I'm going to come out and average 18 points a game?
Right.
So I would throw him in there, and I don't fault those guys. There's a part of me that actually likes that. Like, I'm a star. I'm not about to be anybody's role player, but this is the price you pay. Your career ends earlier than you would like.
Grant Hill was a big star. Grant Hill, right? Got hurt.
His injuries,
no, I know,
of course.
but I'm just saying. But he didn't like. He accepted his role.
I think of some great examples would be like obviously Vince Carter.
Yep, Vince Carter. That's a good
Paul
one.
Pierce, Gary Payton. You know, guys who stayed around. Kevin Garnett, and you know they willingly became role players. Even Dwayne Wade. And if you're able to do that and make that transition, teams will keep you around. But Melo, at least the perception is that he won't. And that's one reason he's not in the league. The other, his defense is really a problem now, especially because you have to be on the perimeter guarding because of the three now. And he's just not a good defender. And at his age now, in his what would be his 17th year, he's an atrocious defender. Bad footwork, all that. So he can't guard anybody. And then the change in the game, Rob. What was his bread and butter was mid-range, baby.
It's a dinosaur in the NBA, Chris. You know it. It's at the rim or a three-pointer, correct?
Yep.
That's where we are in the NBA, and I'm going to say this. In your case, I hear you about all the other players in the league and how he's better. He doesn't fit.
No.
He doesn't fit the league. It's not a personal thing.
Well, are you saying his game doesn't fit the league or
yes.
he doesn't fit on a team?
That's what I mean.
Particular team?
His game doesn't fit the league anymore. That's not what they're looking for. And don't forget, as much as he says now, oh, yeah, I'll be all right, I'll come off the bench, whatever. Remember the press conference in OKC when he laughed and chuckled?
Right.
Right?
Yo,
Remember
P,
that? Did you hear that? They want me to come off the bench. Yuck.
That was only like 2 years ago.
Yuck. He was so funny. Oh, wow, They got jokes. The reporters want me to come off the bench. Did you hear that? Wow.
Right.
And now he's going to the circuit trying to beg his way on a team. Well, terrible.
You make a great point. Now, look, if he were 22 years old and this was his game, mid-range, killer, all that, he'd be in the league. He'd be scoring big points. Probably wouldn't be winning much. You know, he didn't win much as it was. But, you know, somebody'd build a team around him. He'd be that young star, you know, even though his game is mid-range. But I want to take your point of not fitting in the league even a little bit further. Here's the thing, Rob. Do you agree with my assessment that individually he's probably better than 60 to 70% of the players in the league?
Probably, at least 50, no doubt about it. I don't disagree with that, but it's more about a fit.
Right. And here's the deal. If I'm a contender, the Lakers, the Clippers, whoever, I'm not bringing Melo in because, again, I fear he wants to be the man, or at least one of them. I'm sure he can handle being the third guy or even the main guy off the bench now at this point. But I don't need that. If I'm a contender, that's not what I need. You know? And that's the number one thing. Okay, so the fear that he's going to cause disruption because it's easier to fit in a role player than a star. Yeah, okay, Melo's better than Jared Dudley, but guess what? Jared Dudley's going to go over in the corner, wait for those corner threes. He's going to work his butt off on defense. He's going to be a good locker room guy. He's going to be on the bench cheering everybody up, getting everybody psyched. Melo's not going to do that. You know, Danny Green's going to get on that wing, wait for his three-point shot, defend, and that's that. And if he gets 3 shots one night, 7 the next, 10 the next, 1 the next.
You won't hear a peep out of him. You won't hear one peep.
Right. Melo, and even if Melo were cool with it, his name, the fact that it's such a big story now, that in and of itself could be a disruption.
And here's the other part, Chris, and I think you've alluded to this, or people who were in the Carmelo Anthony camp, that he still covered this farewell.
Yeah, that was a part of the story. A person close to him said that. Yeah, that.
What is that?
I tell you what, whoever these people are, because that's like the second or third time we've heard this, Rob.
That hurts
They're
him.
not helping Melo.
No, that hurts.
You know what I'm saying? Because if I were a team and I was like, you know what, man, what can it hurt to give him a shot? I mean, if he doesn't work out, we'll let him go. But then you see that, oh, he really just wants a farewell to, no, we're not bringing a circus. Because that's the other thing, Rob, the bad team. I talked about the contenders. Now we got the bad teams, the Sacramentos who, they're rising, but the Dallases who are rising, the Phoenix Suns, the Nets.
Right.
Not the Nets, but the Knicks. These young teams. You could say, hey, Melo's better than everybody on their team. But if I'm the Knicks, I'm not trying to give Carmelo Anthony 15 shots a game. I'm trying to see what R.J. Barrett can do. I'm trying to see what Julius Randle be the centerpiece? He can put up numbers. Can he be the centerpiece of a team that could win some games? If I'm Sacramento, I want to see what De'Aaron Fox can do. And Marvin Bagley, the rapper. What can they do? Are they guys I can build around for the future? Are they main cogs in a future team that can contend or be in the playoffs? So I can't waste 15 shots, 18 shots on Melo, because even if he scores 20 a game or 18 a game and wins us a couple games, that's not my future.
Nope. So he's trapped. He's trapped
Right.
between two spots. And you're right. If you got a young, unproven team or a team not really going anywhere, you just want to get the young kids as many minutes and experience as you can. You don't want to – it's like they always say. And they say it in baseball, too. You don't want to waste their bats. You don't want to waste shots on Carmelo Anthony.
Right. And now here's the light at the end of the tunnel. And I hope Melo can see this. I get it. Look, I mean, what? He's 35, 36 years old. He's been a basketball star for probably 27 of his years on earth. 80% of his time on earth, he's been a star. He's been the guy that's been his identity. I get it. But Melo has to realize this. Not only did you have a great career, Melo, you had a full career. Chris Bosh, I get it. He only got to play 11 years because of the blood clots and, he wanted to play longer. Magic Johnson only played 12 years. I mean, it was a full career, but because of his HIV, he only played 12 years.
Right.
Melo played 16 years. If you take away last year, he still played 15 years. 15 years where of essentially all of it, most of it in his prime. Most of it, he was the number one option, number two option, big time scorer. And it's not like Grant Hill, Rob, you mentioned.
Right.
Grant Hill, his greatness got cut short. Penny Hardaway, greatness got cut short. I would even say Tracy McGrady because, the injuries crept up on him pretty quickly. Melo had a full career. Michael Jordan only played 15 years. But Larry Bird played 13 years.
Right. I think Joe Dumars played 14. I mean, you could go around, Chris.
Isaiah Thomas
played
around that 13, 12, 13, something like that.
Because he got hurt. He blew out right in Achilles.
So it's not like Melo, there was something left. Really? There were no bullets left in the gun, in the holster, whatever. So I think he needs to just sit back and say, you know what, man, I had a great career. I'm a somewhat of a legend. And he can just live and bask in that. So
it's still a hard pill to swallow. I'm telling you. Whenever you can't go out on your own terms, you just feel like there's how could they do this to me? I can imagine, Chris, where what?
Yeah.
What do you mean? I was on the Olympic team. What? What did he win? 3 gold medals?
3, at least 3.
Right?
I think it's a record. I think he holds the record.
He's won a ton of, so he's got all that stuff going. And I can't get, there's 400 jobs in the NBA, and I can't get one of them.
Right.
Nobody.
And he's saying even in Houston, his last little bit of play,
and boy,
he was averaging about 16 points a game.
And they still couldn't wait to get rid of him.
Right.
I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened there. I know they got off to a bad start.
The story today was saying the defense. He just was such a they weren't winning. Remember, they started off really slow.
No, they were terrible.
Right. And it was just that even if he gave you something offensively, defensively, he was just that you couldn't protect him at all. He averaged 13 points in that 10 games with Houston, but he did have a stretch when they had to go to him, and he really started scoring. 16 points in those 10 games with Houston. So, but anyway, what do you guys think? 877-99 on Fox, 877-996-6369. Should a team sign Carmelo Anthony? And is he worthy of a tour?
All right, let's kick it off with John in Kentucky. You're on The Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. What's up, John?
What's up, fellas?
What's happening?
Well, I'm good. Well, I got to ask, do you think he's worthy of a farewell tour? I don't.
I got one answer for you, John. You ready?
Yes, sir.
No way, no
That's
how.
why I love you, Rob. and when Chris starts acting like Mr. Rogers, then you got to, everybody's okay and good. But no, he's not. The guy was, if his career was in the Olympics, dude be the GOAT.
Yep.
But he's not.
I could average 12 points a game
on
Team USA. I mean, I'm just saying,
yeah.
But here, I'm with you though. I agree with you.
But
he doesn't shouldn't get a tour.
No, not a tour. I mean, the guy was more or less on defense. If you want to be a great, you have to be great at both. I mean, there's more than one facet of the game. There's offense and defense. Dude on defense, it's like putting a cone on the floor with a headband on. And it's like, guy wrote, I was like, it's just something I got to dribble around and shoot because he's not gonna defend anything.
I actually think very few guys, Rob, are deserving of tours.
Yes, it's a handful. It's just a
handful. LeBron, D-Wade, look, great. Obviously, first ballot Hall of Famer. I think the fourth best shooting guard ever. Although James Harden's chasing. But he kind of pushed his own tour. He came up with that jersey thing. Remember the jersey exchange?
Right. Yeah, because even Dwayne Wade, people didn't think deserved one. Not everybody.
That was kind of self-promoted or whatever you want to call it, self-created. But let's get back to the phone.
All right, let's do that. Let's talk to Andre in Massachusetts. You're on The Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Andre?
Yeah, how you doing? Thanks for taking my call. Should Carmelo get a farewell tour? Yes. Will he get a farewell tour? The answer is no, and I'm going to tell you why. First of all, he's not getting a farewell tour in the West because the West is so fierce, 1-15. No team can afford to give Carmelo Anthony a farewell tour. So we have to go to the East. Can he get a farewell tour in the East? Obviously. But does he want to get a farewell tour in Charlotte? Is he interested in a farewell tour with Orlando? How about?
But none of them would even want him.
Right.
I'm honest. Why do you answer me this? Why do you think he deserves a tour?
I think he deserves a tour because that's the going rate, for these. Dwayne Wade got a tour.
Paul Pierce didn't get one.
But Paul Pierce, he could have gotten one if he wanted one. Your point is 100%
he did.
correct.
Remember Draymond going at him?
Yep.
Oh, you thought you was Kobe? You thought they was going to give you a tour? KG didn't get. Did KG get one?
No.
It's
not something that everybody gets.
Right.
It's like a once in a generation type player.
It's not even just Hall of Famers.
No, it's not.
It's the elite of the elite.
Right, a once in a generation, Chris. Right, where you go, oh wow.
Who else will get a tour? Obviously, LeBron. KD will deserve one. He'll probably get one.
If they win in Brooklyn, right? I think that
if they win in Brooklyn for sure. Even if not,
I'm just saying.
Good, right? If they fizzle in Brooklyn,
right?
Maybe,
if it doesn't work out,
right.
But if they go to Brooklyn and win a championship or two, they'll get one.
He'll get one. Steph will get one, and I don't know who else. I mean, maybe we'll have to wait and see. What happens, but.
All right, Eric in Kalamazoo. There we go. You're on The Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. What you got, Eric?
You got me waiting. Oh, boy. Listen, Michael Jordan, they wanted him to come off the bench when he was in D.C. that time, and he started after that big
He was Michael Jordan.
Right.
I'm just saying, the superstars don't like come off the bench getting played like that. Carmelo, he represented this country 3 times, got them gold medals, but he ain't good enough to play in the league, and they blackballed him.
Where would you like to see him go?
Carmelo players is playing.
Blackball for
Where
what
should
reason?
he go? Answer me. Answer us. Where should he go? What team should sign him, really?
Brooklyn.
Where's he fit? Brooklyn?
Because Kevin Durant is down, and they need a volume scorer. This cat was the leading scorer in the league for years. He know how to do it. He just won't. He averaged 16 on the way out when they blackballed him. He know how to play basketball with any type of player. They know the new game out here.
I think
basketball player can play basketball with any style of player because he played with him out there all the time.
I think they're afraid he might eat too much cheesecake from Junior's in Brooklyn if he were to bring him there. Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm just gonna leave that alone. But
Leave that over there.
Look, Brooklyn doesn't need Melo. I'm sorry.
People in Brooklyn appreciated that joke because I brought up the cheesecake from Junior's. Okay.
Yeah, yo, that's some good cheesecake.
You know that, Chris.
Yeah,
am I
that's
right?
some good cheesecake for sure. Hey, it's the Odd Couple. I'm Chris. He is Rob, and we want to encourage all of you to subscribe to our YouTube channel.
That's right. You know, you can listen to us on the radio, and now you can watch us as well, and it's fun.
No question about it. And remember, oh yeah!